do you believe in climate change, Michael? Do you believe in climate change? I'm really asking.
Whether you believe in climate change or not, we're all going to die. And higher taxes by the politicians and all that organizations are going to save it. Lead to a third world genocide where prices are already high.
Here's a good one for you. Everything that I had done was in reaction to what other people were doing to me.
Oh, so you're a reactionary, just like Hitler. You're a reactionary. Isn't that the truth?
Had they not made the conscious and
are a
deliberate
reactionary. You know, I'm not a reactionary. I think about things before I take action. Clearly, you don't think before you act. That's why you got arrested and charged, because you don't think before you act. Maybe you should think before you act next time. Think, Michael.
I did. I did make a deliberate
You
decision
apparently
to draw
did
my
not,
firearm.
because you look like a scared little rat that can't think.
And that's what
Thank you. I was scared. I was scared.
Yeah,
Thank you for supporting my self-defense.
That doesn't really help when you pull out a gun. That doesn't make things
When someone's scared for their life,
I'm scared for my life. I can be scared for my life all the time. I've been scared for my life when Proud Boys were surrounding me with their fists clenched in iron. And you know what I did? You know what I did when I was surrounded by black Proud Boys and they were playing the cereal game with me? You know what I did? I stood there and took it like a man. That's what I did. I took it like I was supposed to. Because I know y'all are the violent types. Y'all are the violent ones. I ain't a violent person. There is not a violent bone in my body. I train in self-defense, and you know what?
No, but you support a violent group.
Self-defense.
You support a violent group.
Never self-defense.
Yes, it is. It's
No,
actually
it's
in the
not.
ORS code.
If you know what? If you
might want to learn the laws.
gun is self-defense, you clearly don't know how to defend yourself. Because guess what? If you pull the gun, that gun is very easily taken from you and turned on you. Instead, you know what you should do? Take the person's gun and shoot them with their own gun. That's what I train in. That's what I train to do. So if you pull a gun on me, I can take it from you.
Yeah, you just take guns from somebody that's shooting them on you.
I want to use this
Just like in a Jason Statham movie, you just go up and take the guy from the back.
That's why I couldn't go to the low ready, because I feared that him and his friends would then come up on me and pull my arm away from me at that point and take the gun away from me. That's why I did not go to the low ready at that point. He just supported my theory in that. So thank you for proving that. Thank you. That's going to be used in my retrial. Thank you.
Oh, you're going to retrial. Oh my goodness, retrial.
Yeah.
Because you got found guilty, didn't you? Oh, and here you are speaking about it. Isn't that against the law to speak about a trial that you're going to do, that you're going into? That's not entirely like legally okay. You know, maybe you should have talked to your lawyer before you came here, because he might have told you something that you might not want to hear, because this might be a crime. Who knows? What? Have you ever read a book about the law?
He's good. He's got all I've actually won all kinds of cases.
Oh, you've read all kinds
Nothing
of cases. Well, Michael, I really don't know what you're doing. What are you saying? I'm sorry. What's going on? What do you mean? I'm not touching you. I'm not coming near you. You just need space? Here, you can have your space. Go ahead. You can have all the space that you want. Right there. You're totally within your space. Oh, look at that. I totally blocked your camera before you even noticed it. Oh my goodness. Hi, everybody. Michael is trying to speak, but he really can't as long as I'm here. I mean, he just keeps getting interrupted, keeps getting flustered, keeps looking at me, keeps looking back down at his notes, looks at me again. He's so flustered by this. I mean, is he going to pull out a gun? Is that his next thing? Is he? Oh my goodness, he tried to. He thought he would, but did you see me? I didn't even fucking flinch at that. Oh my goodness, it's like you aren't a scary person. You're just a kind of weird ass little troll.
I'm a normal
You
person
look like
when I'm
a
surrounded
troll
by a gang of thugs. I'm in fear for my life. Thank you very much.
What is that? Is that your mic? Oh, your mic is so small. It's about as big as your dick. Oh, that was a high school, middle school joke. That was a middle school joke. I'm sorry for that one. That one was really terrible. how many people on the screen? 52? 52 people? Hello, all 52 of you. How do you like a nice close-up of my face?
Left me.
Can you hear?
Let's go for a walk.
Can you hear? Can you hear? Can you hear? Well, you couldn't hear? What was that? Are you going for a walk now? Or do you want to walk? You know, help the lady walk. She needs a bit of help. She's got that cane, but she needs your help. You can ask me a question, but I'm really here for Michael.
I tried to explain to them.
Go ahead and ask what I'm talking. You know, Michael, you know, what is going on here? Are you still talking into that camera?
To the group of people and immediately said, who was menaced by him? Were you targeted by him? You would expect a police officer to say, did anybody see what happened? Are there any witnesses?
You would expect, but of course they did, but they didn't ask
his
you.
friend,
They
Benjamin
didn't ask
Kwanzaa,
you at
was
all.
all too willing
I
to talk
never
to the
said
police.
that anybody
He
was
goes,
my
right, been
friend. No, I don't have any friends in this room. I might not.
I was in custody for 4 hours
Who
before they
knows
even knew what
who's
to
on your
charge.
side and who knows who's against you? You look like
I was trying to get them to look at my
you look
video.
like you have that vile
care about
hatred in your
anything.
eyes. I can see it. I've seen it.
So I showed
right
up
now.
to pity for the
Oh,
arraignment.
pity? That wasn't pity
ordered.
that I saw. Because I've seen pity. I know
when I get there, I'm told by
Kate
Melina.
I know pity. That was vile hatred. That's vile hatred.
He pulls out this phony police report that I didn't even know existed from John Slaughter. Now, I know John Slaughter from the Orlando vigil from a few weeks beforehand. Him and several other people decided they were going to but I did not realize the level of directness at that point. Coincidentally, for not there's a row of police. I would like to file a report about this job.
I haven't broken any laws. I'm sorry. You can't really file a report against somebody that hasn't broken a law.
Okay. I do consider myself a victim right now of disorderly conduct.
I'd like to have a rally.
So, I show up for the arraignment the next day, and Kate Melina, the deputy district attorney, she pulls out this phony police report that I didn't even know existed, filed by this guy named John Slaughter. Now, John Slaughter was one of the guys who got my Orlando vigil a few weeks beforehand. I did not feel that that was as much of a physical level of threat at that point as what had happened to me on July 7th.
Looks like they're leaving.
Also, there were 3 cops standing 20 feet.
Mike. They weed you guys out for the most.
Have they shut down the room? Is that what's going on? Okay.
Just close the door.
Can I?
Do you want to try and get some form?
Yeah, let's try to make this official then.
All right. Okay.
I'll let you go first.
All right.
Grab a seat. I think they were doing I don't have any battery left, Mike. Sorry.
So, I will continue the event right now if everybody wants to have a seat. Thank you very much. So as 2016 wore on, my videos really started picking up steam. It was the first time where I was healthy, and this was my primary source of work, filming political events in the area. So I actually posted about 450 videos through the first half of 2016. I was covering tons of events. By that point, I had over 1,000 videos total. Now, some of these protesters don't like my brand of journalism because I show what actually happens at these protests. You know, when they're assaulting bystanders, when they're smashing windows, when they're calling for shooting police officers. I'm there filming it, and I'm posting it up on YouTube. a lot of times raw, continuous footage. So I know a lot of these people don't like me, but it's my right to be there, you know, and I post these videos with minimal narration. You know, again, I like to put the viewer right in the middle of the story. So I was a CHL holder, concealed handgun license holder, since 2011. I'd been through numerous firearms trainings over the years, including some taught by DPSST certified instructors. Those are the people who train and certify the police. There's some of them that in their off time, they do civilian-based courses where they take a lot of those standards and apply them to the civilian world. And I've been through some of those courses. I've been to hundreds of political events, dozens of protests. I was trained to carry everywhere. Make it habitual, because you never know when danger may arise. You know, trouble doesn't announce itself an hour beforehand. If it did, then that gives you time to get away from it. So that's why I was carrying on this night, because I was trained to carry everywhere. I'm sure there's a few people in the crowd here who have been through similar courses. It's what you're trained to do. So I will now show the video. So this is my first-person video right here from my camera. This is Nate Millsap's video. He's the large guy right there. He is standing on the ledge of the Justice Center. This is right downtown here, about 5 or 10 blocks away at the Justice Center. They're speaking on the steps of the Justice Center. That's also the police headquarters and the county jail and some of the courtrooms. So this is Millsap's video. These two are surveillance videos from the Hatfield Courthouse right across the street. This is looking southbound down 3rd. This one is sort of looking at an angle. This is Main Street right here. So this is looking at an angle towards the corner of Main Street and 3rd. You notice these guys right here. And you might recognize that guy right there because he's sitting there, but I do not consider him part of the violent mob because he and I have a decent rapport. So these guys are actually gathering up. They're huddling up. And if we scroll back a little bit in the video, you can see they actually started right up there. So they're huddling up. They see me in the crowd. They don't like me for whatever reason. And they huddle up to formulate their plan to come and attack me.
Well, we are not shaming people for being queer and trans.
So you see them now coming down the steps.
As you know, we just finished a project. Who here knows the name Bayard Rustin? Yeah! Let me tell you something about Bayard Rustin. He was the organizer.
So even the guy running the camera at the Hatfield building, the security officer on duty that night, he saw those guys and said, those guys mean trouble. So he zoomed in the camera on them to see what's going on. Now this guy right here, his name is Benjamin Carenza. He is a very large individual. He literally weighs 400 pounds. He is literally twice my size. He has a very lengthy criminal history. He's been in and out of federal prison 3 times. He's been in and out of county jails on multiple occasions on a variety of different crimes. He's attacked other journalists in the street. He tried to get the mob to attack Millsap at an event one time, but being 6'6" and 280 pounds like Millsap is, that sort of deterred them. Plus there was a row of cops about 20 feet away. That's one thing that you'll notice missing from all of this. No police officers. You have hundreds of people marching through the streets, not a single uniformed officer to be seen. Now that's actually contrary to the Portland Police Bureau's own directives when it comes to protests that say we need to have a visible presence to prevent crimes from happening, prevent assaults, prevent violence. No police anywhere to be seen. Yeah, usually it starts off with a couple rows of bicycle cops. They're not rushing to make an arrest. They're just kind of on the sides, the outskirts of things, keeping an eye on stuff. They'll try to get ahead of the march, and they'll try to redirect traffic around. None of that on this particular night. Benjamin Carenza here is also accused of harassing homeless folks. He had to be held back one time by other activists outside of the ACLU bus stop because he was trying to physically attack Mary Eng, who is a police accountability activist. He had to be held back by several activists because he was getting ready to lunge at her. So he's a very dangerous individual with a very lengthy criminal history. He's also a suspected snitch, an informant. Because a lot of people realize that he goes to these protests, he causes trouble, but when the police run in, he's all of a sudden nowhere to be seen. He runs to the back. And you can see that in Nate Millsap's video from when Carenza tried to get the mob to attack him. He gets the mob riled up and then he runs off into the back. So when the police show up to arrest people, Carenza's nowhere to be seen. Carenza's also suspected of being involved in this Officer Naya Joey Gibson email exchange, text messaging thing. Because in some of those emails released, there's an email address in there, eyeofprovidence@riseup.net. And there's some people that are claiming that is Benjamin Carenza's email address. Not only is he providing the police information about the Patriot Prayer guys, whacked out false information, claiming all sorts of ridiculous things about roving armed militias. He's trying to implicate Millsap in organizing armed militias to go and insert